You want to know what a Wall Street Democrat looks like? Well, as soon as the Obama administration ended, his cabinet members and his staffers all ran to get jobs with corporate America. No surprise. Farron and I have been talking about this forever. These same people from the hope and change thing, like we can do better from that administration, well, they're in the pockets. Unlimited power in corporate America, unlimited money. That's who these folks are. Joining me to talk about is Farron Cousins, who I honestly believe is the best progressive talker in the business. I mean that.
Well, thank you.
You've been with me 20 years. We've been working together, right?
Almost,
and every year it just gets better and better. So give me your take on this, Farron.
I think it's, essentially what we expect. And I love that the folks over at Jacobin, Luke Savage specifically, came out with this piece, because this is the kind of follow-up that we really need. This is what people have to understand about these administrations that they've put up on a pedestal, act like, oh, they did no wrong. Trump was terrible, but Obama was wonderful. No, you have former members of the Obama administration actively fighting against unions for Amazon. You have them actively fighting against antitrust for Facebook. You have them actively fighting in court for pharmaceutical companies. These are corporate puppets that came directly from Obama.
What are the blinders that run-of-the-mill Democrat puts on? The blinders that make them so tribal that they can't admit that, this was a Wall Street Democrat party that now has moved into corporate America. There's no guesswork here. I mean, my God, you starts with Jay Carney. I mean, Jay Carney's with Amazon. Amazon is in this union fight all over America. Jay Carney is the guy helping drive the train to keep workers down. This was the hope and change guy that came from the Obama administration. Or Robert Gibbs. I mean, you take it from there.
Right. You had Robert Gibbs, who had helped McDonald's try to crush $15 minimum wage, or actually increases in minimum wage. So again, across the spectrum, every big issue that we talk about all the time, the need for unions, need for an increase in minimum wage, breaking up tech companies, you can find these Obama administration fingerprints all over it. Seth Harris, former labor secretary, is in there as well, working to kill these minimum wage laws that the NLRB says are absolutely essential. But Obama's people,
the hope and change folks.
Right.
Hope and change.
Are the ones out there doing these horrible things. But the average run-of-the-mill liberal does put on these blinders, and they say, well, at least it's not Trump. At least it's not Bush. But no, you can't have that mentality. When they do wrong, call them out for doing wrong.
Send in your comments. Criticize us. I don't give a damn anymore. You have to call it out. And these folks are Wall Street thugs. That's what they've turned into. This is the Hopi and Changey group that now is trying to keep wages down. They're trying to keep people from unionizing. They're attacking Bernie Sanders. They're attacking OAs across the board. Yeah. They're attacking progressives and everything we stand for because of the money. That's okay, because of Hopi and change.
Well, I do want to add real quick, too, just another person to throw in, not from the Obama administration, but you got Howard Dean out there right now.
Oh, my God.
Who's actually lobbying Biden to not loosen the patents on the COVID vaccine so that poor nations can get their hands on. It's obscene what these former progressives are doing.
And he's doing that so corporate America can make more money. Yeah. How about Eric Holder? Has he ever seen a white-collar criminal that he was willing to put in prison? Well, now, no guesswork here. He's back with Covington Burling that are in the business of protecting white-collar criminals and corporate criminals. That's where Eric Holder went back to. The Matt Gaetz scandal continues to heat up, so here's the latest on what we know about the Republican representative. Wow, this gets weirder every single day. Pick up from there. Some of the stuff we can't make up.
I know. Every couple days you got even more stuff. But the biggest problem Matt Gaetz has right now is that his good buddy, Joel Greenberg, the one who's been charged with somewhere between 20 and 30 counts, a lot of those including human trafficking, they decided last week, you know what, Joel Greenberg is going to try to work out a plea deal, so he's going to start talking. And that was announced, I think it was last Thursday. And his lawyer came out that afternoon, did a very bizarre press conference where he implied that Matt Gaetz should probably be a little scared as Joel Greenberg prepares to start talking.
Well, this centers into Venmo, right? You got an 18-year-old who's now in the pornography business, wasn't at the time. You got 17-year-olds involved. You got this mysterious little email that says, test, we want to go forward with, with the girls. There's a blank, but he's saying, let's test this. Let's see how far we can push it. You know what? He did some just really sad-looking apology to the Women Republican group. Did you catch any of that?
I saw a little bit of it, yeah.
It was almost like the Richard Nixon speech. I've done nothing wrong. This, this is my dog. That's what this looked like to me. It was pathetic. And the guy, I got to tell you something. If I were a prosecutor, I used to prosecute. There's so much here already just on the surface. If a little bit of it is accurate, he's got a problem, don't you think?
Well, he absolutely does. And the biggest problem for him, obviously, is not just Greenberg. It's the receipts that we already have.
Yeah.
We already have the evidence that he was paying Greenberg to send women to have sex with him. Okay? Those Venmo receipts and also from Apple Pay, that's incontrovertible at this point. We know that those exist. So it's very difficult for him to come up with any defense as to why he was paying this man for anything. There's no logical way for him to attempt to downplay that.
So Greenberg, let me call him Greenberg this week rather than Goldberg that I called him last week. But it's Greenberg. Okay, so Greenberg has this cooperation agreement. Now, the best way I heard a cooperation agreement is this. The cooperation is not to cooperate with the fish below you, it's to cooperate about the fish above you. You follow me?
Yep.
So when you see a cooperation agreement, you go, well, this is probably pretty problematic. But at this point, there's 33 counts against, as you pointed out, 33 counts against Greenberg. And the chances of his lawyer, look, it's almost malpractice. It would be malpractice for a defense lawyer to tell your client, don't cooperate in this situation, because the cat's going to prison for life.
Yep.
Right? So I'm sure the defense lawyer doesn't want to commit malpractice. He says, you need to sing like a bird, put it all out there, let's see where this lands, right?
Yeah, and Greenberg's probably still looking at life in prison, maybe just hoping to not go to some kind of supermax type, maybe a minimum security, a little bit nicer facilities. He's certainly not going to get the Epstein deal by any stretch of the imagination. We would hope. I mean, God forbid. But Gates, on the other hand, from last I've seen, he has picked up a defense lawyer. So he is lawyering up. He is prepared to go on the fight. He is saying, I am not stepping down. I am not resigning.
But at some point, Farron, any lawyer advising him says, shut up. Shut up. Don't talk anymore because you're looking crazier by the minute. I mean, he already looks like a movie villain, for God's sakes, So you're saying you got to shut up. That's the best advice I can give him right now. But I don't think it's going to help much.